Alright, but why did we choose Python and not anything else? Well, we chose it because it is easy. Easy is relative. Like, it is way simpler to start prototyping and write code that works using Python than, say, C++. If you ever tried C++, you'll definitely understand what I'm talking about. And if not, you'll just have to trust me. The point is, you don't have so much of an overhead to get stuff to just work. And this is the main reason. The second one, it's concise. You can write code within 1 or 2 lines in Python, for which you need 10 lines in Java or C++ and the like. For me, the most important reason, this is the reason why I personally use Python currently quite a lot, it's because it's a standard for analytics and machine learning, mostly machine learning. For different statistical problems, R is a very viable candidate, but there's nothing that you have as much support for in terms of machine learning than Python. And this is actually, the support argument is linked to the fact that the language is open source as opposed to MATLAB, for instance, right? And because of it, it is very easy to find answers. If you go on Stack Overflow and post a question, you will find an answer almost immediately for even newer problems, and just Googling will yield an answer for almost anything that you could think of pertaining to this machine learning. And there are vast libraries that I will introduce you to during these courses that help you do everything. They help you fly. Like here. This is a joke, of course, but it's quite accurate. It was actually my first programming language too. So within a week, I went from knowing nothing of programming to writing a web crawler at that time. I was duplicating Google. Alright. We are not going to program just in Notepad. Technically, all you need for programming is just a notepad, something to write your program in and then execute it from outside using the Python interpreter in this case, or compiling it or whatnot. But instead, we will be working with an integrated development environment. It has many advantages, particularly if you write large amounts of code. And for Python, there are a few options available. There are generic options such as Eclipse or Visual Studio. These are Visual Studio is mainly used for C-based languages like C, C++, C Sharp, and so on and so forth. It's a Microsoft program, also bound to a license, but I think US students might get it for free. Eclipse is for Java, but both have plugins and support Python too. Then there are things like Spider, which comes shipped with Anaconda by default, or PyCharm, which is something I like very much, dedicated to Python. And these take out a lot of work that you'd have to do yourself. They have features like search and code completion, and they check whether you write good code and respect standards, right? And of course, there's a notepad option that a true hacker will always use. And the thing that we will be using is Jupyter Notebooks. These are browser-based. This is a browser-based development environment, which has the beautiful advantage of allowing Markdown, like sort of a hybrid between HTML and plain text, together with code in and of itself. And this allows us to document basically every step of diverse analytics pipelines that we will show you throughout this lecture, which is why we chose it.